On this week's Rambler Sports Locker, we'll discuss the men's soccer team making its first NCAA tournament appearance since 2011, as well as the men's and women's basketball teams kicking off their seasons.
Also, RSL reporter Patricia Martinez has her top 5 Chicago Bulls plays for the season, and Kathy Novak got an inside look at the boxing club.
Dylan Conover is back with the Ramble with returning Ramble champion Mike Nish with a new challenger. Dylan Conover is here to tell us more. Dylan?
Hey Henry, today on the Ramble we're going to be talking about some Major League pitchers who were awarded for their regular season performances, whether or not they deserved it. All this and more on this episode of the Rambler Sports Locker.
Welcome Rambler fans to another edition of the Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Jasmine Marcos.
And I'm Henry Redmond. The men's soccer team went into its MVC tournament semifinal weighed down by all the conference honors it received. There were 10 members of the Loyola men's soccer team that earned all MVC honors at the MVC awards reception before they took on the Missouri State Bears in the semifinals. Leading the honors was goalkeeper Andrew Chekadanov, who received the MVC Goalkeeper of the Year. This is the third consecutive year a Rambler has taken this honor. Other awards include head coach Neil Jones and his staff winning MVC Coaching Staff of the Year. Redshirt senior Ryan Howe, juniors Elliot Collier and Brody Crossell, and redshirt sophomore Grant Stoneman received first team All-MVC. Rounding out the awards were senior Kirill Likovid, junior Kyle Thompson, and sophomore Alec Lisinski winning second team All-MVC. The Ramblers took on the Missouri State Bears in the MVC semifinals. After 2 close calls, the Ramblers finally found the net in the 23rd minute when senior Kevin Engesser knocked a cross from senior Ryan Howe through the legs of the Bears goalkeeper. The score would hold at 1-0 until the 73rd minute when Missouri State midfielder Mikey Lightbourne sent a cross through the box that forward Jake Buckle launched past Chekadanov. The Bears take the game in overtime with a final score of 2-1, knocking the number 1 seed Ramblers out of the tournament. Redshirt senior Ryan Howe and senior Kevin Engesser were also named to the MVC All-Tournament team this week. Howe contributed the assist and Engesser knocked in the only goal the Ramblers scored in the tournament. The team had a chance to take a part in the NCAA Soccer Tournament, finding out their fate on Monday. The team faces UIC in the first round tonight at Loyola Soccer Park. RSL reporter Aaron Onion met up with the men's soccer team after their NCAA selection viewing earlier this week. He spoke with goalkeeper Andrew Chekadanov first to talk more about his MVC honors and the season.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the newly awarded MVC Goalkeeper of the Year, Andrew Chekadanov. How's it going, Andrew?
I'm good.
Doing well. It's good. So, being named MVC Goalkeeper of the Year, what does that mean to you to earn such an award?
It's nice to be recognized. We've, with Tim Bobovolsky's, had the Goalkeeper of the Year last 2 years, so it's great to keep it within Loyola's team. But, most of the credit obviously goes to the team. I haven't had too many saves this year, so just it's been great work by the defense, and yeah, nice to get recognized, but it's a kind of whole team recognition.
Yeah, no, and as you mentioned, you said a lot of the credit goes to the team. What does that say about your backline's defensive abilities, helping you out as a keeper, and allowing you to not have to make so many big saves and to continue to keep clean sheets throughout the season?
Yeah, that's been our main reason for success this year, I think. And just having experienced guys back there, and then the addition of Marius on our left side. He's a freshman, but he's gotten involved with the team nicely and really intertwined. So I think just having a solid relationship with each other and being able to work throughout the entire season. I know we had Matt Brem, who got injured, but Ryan Howe stepped up at left center back and has done really well for us. So,
and then kind of continuing with that defensive mindset, how does that defensive structure and strength of the team help you guys in a tournament situation, especially moving forward now, going into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, they always say that defense wins championships, so I think having a solid defense in front of me will be what allows us to get wins in the tournament, like we hopefully want to, and hopefully we can keep getting shutouts like we have been, and then have our offense step up and score a few goals.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then finally, what is your target moving forward going into the tournament? How far do you guys think you can go?
I mean, we think we can go to the Final Four if we, few lucky bounces, some good soccer on our part, and hopefully we can get to Houston. But I know it's kind of far away. So right now we're just focused on Thursday and beating a really good UIC team who's had a good year. We played them in preseason, and it was a tough game, so we're excited for that.
All right, well, good luck moving forward, and I wish you guys the best of luck.
RSL reporter Aaron Onion also spoke to head coach Neil Jones, first to talk about the program's success this season, and then about the upcoming NCAA tournament.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with men's head soccer coach Neil Jones. How's it going, Neil?
Good. Yeah, we just got in the NCAA tournament, so pretty excited.
So as you say, you're just coming after finding out your draw for the first round of the NCAA tournament. You guys have obviously come off a very successful year, getting an automatic bid to the tournament. You and your staff won the MVC Coaching Staff of the Year. So can you tell me a little bit about how it feels to be leading this program at the minute?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a great time to be at Loyola. I mean, the university has put in a lot of money into this great institution, and the athletic department supports us and looks after us. And we just got a beautiful new turf put down in our field, and our facilities looking great. So it's a great time to be a part of this institution, and we're excited.
You say it's a great time to be a part of the institution, and specifically your program. What does this year's success do for the health of the program, and kind of moving forward, attracting recruits and building a competitive team that can do this year after year?
Yeah, I think from an alumni perspective, it kind of revitalizes the alums. They're excited, I'm sure, to get down to Rogers Park on Thursday and cheer us on. And in terms of recruiting, all recruits want to be playing in the NCAA tournament. So to be able to tell recruits, we've been here and we've qualified for it is big. And you add a successful soccer program to a fantastic institution academically that Loyola is, and this campus and the city of Chicago. We have so much to sell, and it's a very attractive option for many top-level recruits.
And then now heading into the tournament this upcoming week, where are you guys at right now? What do you realistically expect to do in the tournament? How far can you guys go?
Yeah, it's pretty coach speak here, but it is one game at a time. UIC is a tough opponent. They're playing at a different level than they were earlier in the year when we played them. We beat them in the preseason, which is an exhibition game, so it doesn't have as much fight and energy attached to it as Thursday night will. So we just got to get ourselves ready. We took a tough result on Friday at Missouri State, so we need to bounce back from that. There were some things that were uncharacteristic of our program that we did in that game on both sides of the ball, and we just need to get back to playing Loyola soccer.
So, as you say, good luck moving forward towards the end of the season, and hopefully you guys can go as far as you are hoping for. So thank you for your time.
Now the Loyola Ramblers are in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2011. Tonight they play in the first round against UIC. RSL's own Aaron Onion and Blake Keller are there tonight. With a game recap, we'll send it to Aaron Onion for more.
Thanks, Henry. I'm here at Loyola Soccer Park where the Ramblers just defeated UIC 2-0 in their first ever NCAA tournament victory. The first 5 minutes were incredibly physical, and as we often see in knockout soccer games, it can be a very cagey affair, and that's exactly what happened tonight. The first half was incredibly difficult for both teams to create chances and really just maintain possession in any way. But as the second half progressed, Loyola were a lot better. They started to move the ball a lot quicker, and that allowed them to move as a unit up the field into more dangerous positions. And eventually, Alec Lasinski was able to find the back of the net from a cross on the right-hand side. And then UIC, towards the last 15 minutes, really started to put the pressure on Loyola. They created chance after chance. They were really starting to bang on the door. but as they were throwing more and more numbers forward, they left themselves vulnerable at the back, and that's where Loyola was able to find their second goal and hit them on the counterattack to seal the game 2-0. Head coach Neil Jones says this game is a huge momentum builder heading into the next round.
It gives us a lot of confidence. I think what the best part coming out of tonight, apart from getting the first victory in Loyola soccer history in the NCAA, is that the guys just bonded together and fought and grinded out a win.
The Ramblers will head down to South Bend this Sunday at 5 p.m. to take on Notre Dame. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Aaron Onion.
The women's basketball team kicked off their season last Friday evening, hosting in-state rival Northern Illinois. This is the first time the two teams have met since the 2012-13 season. Loyola started the night with some triples, receiving a quick pass from freshman guard Tiara Wallace. Katie Salmon scored a three-pointer shortly before the first quarter ended. Later, a few minutes into the second half, freshman Kiana Coomer would receive a cross-court pass to score her first triplet of the night, putting Loyola in the lead 31-25. The Huskies, though, responded quickly by taking the lead, and while the Ramblers eagerly fought to catch up with a pair of baskets from both KAITLYN Williams and Wallace, time ran out for them. The game ended with a score of 72-90, giving Northern Illinois the victory over Loyola. Despite the loss, Williams managed a total of 19 points for the night. Freshman guard KAITLYN Williams was named the Missouri Valley's Conference Newcomer of the Week. Making her collegiate debut against Northern Illinois, the freshman made an impressive performance, helping to lead the way for the Ramblers. Williams was able to score a team-high 19 points on 7 of 11 shooting from the field. The freshman proved to be a threat, knocking down a team-best 4 shots from beyond the three-point arc. Meanwhile, on the defensive side, she was able to manage 3 steals and 1 rebound. The women's basketball team is back in action tonight in Pittsburgh, where they face the Panthers.
The men's basketball team got out to a hot start this season. The team faced a difficult slate of 3 games in 4 days. However, the Ramblers eased past all 3 teams with the lowest margin of victory being 25 points. The Ramblers opened the 2016 season against Alcorn State on November 11th. After trading baskets in the first half, the second half saw the Ramblers let the lead slip away, with the Braves taking a 35-33 lead. Junior guard Clayton Custer hit a 3-pointer to spark a 17-0 run by the Ramblers. The team would coast from there, with the Braves never getting closer than 13 points for the rest of the game, with a final score of 69-44. Loyola would continue its dominant weekend in a smashing of Indiana University Northwest. The Ramblers would score the first 16 points of the game, but the Redhawks would follow with a 16-5 run of their own, including this 3. The Ramblers' offense would get hot from there, including these 3s from Milton Doyle, Ben Richardson, and Matt Chastain. Doyle would show off his arm with this touchdown pass to a streaking Clayton Custer. Loyola would stay hot from behind the arc as Byron Burt would add another 3, and Nick Donardi would get the offensive rebound to score the Ramblers' 100th point. This was the first time Loyola reached triple digits in regulation since 1997, when the Ramblers beat Robert Morris University. The team flirted with digits again one day later with another dominant performance over Eureka and got off to its best start since 2010. The Red Devils got out to an early 8-4 lead. However, the Ramblers would score 11 unanswered points and wouldn't let go for the rest of the game. The game would mark the first time the Ramblers scored 90 or more points in consecutive games since 2011. The team is off to a strong start this season, but the team is facing a setback from Loyola's game against Eureka. Newcomer forward Matt Chastain suffered a torn ACL and will be out for the remainder of the season. The team will now look ahead to the Paradise Jam against St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. RSL reporter Nick Schultz was at the press conference after November 14th game to talk with Coach Porter Moser on the team's performance and heading into the Paradise Jam.
You know, now we're heading to the Paradise Jam, play St. Joe's, play a team won 28 games last year, Atlantic 10, so you know, we needed to be 3-0 going into this tournament, and we did it. We took care of business. You're seeing a lot of people around the country, especially in our league, there's been upsets. So I'm really excited. We took care of business. We're 3-0. Now we're heading into this a really, really good tournament with a lot of good teams, and it's going to be a great test for us.
The Chicago Bulls have been in action for a couple of weeks now, as the Windy City eagerly looks on to see what its players will offer this season.
Over to RSL reporter Patricia Martinez with her top 5 Chicago Bulls plays of the season so far.
Thanks, Henry. With the addition of Dwayne Wade to the roster, the Chicago Bulls have made some impressive plays so far in the first weeks of the NBA season. At number 5 is Bulls center Robin Lopez, who throws the alley-oop to Jimmy Butler for the easy 2. At number 4 against the New York Knicks, Taj Gibson throws down a nasty one-handed slam with the assistance of Jimmy Butler in the third quarter.
He gets to the glass, and that was Porzingis in that
At number 3, Jimmy Butler gets the steal, takes it down the court, and feeds it to Dwayne Wade for the easy layup.
2 against 3, Jimmy stole it right back. Butler underneath, Wade scored.
At number 2, Dwayne Wade, making his first appearance back in the MIA last week since signing with the Bulls, makes an incredible play as he moves around Heat small forward Winslow and adding a crazy spin while going for the layup. What an incredible solo play by Dwayne Wade. And finally, at number 1 is the crazy 3-man play made against the Heat, where on the break, Jimmy Butler dishes it to Wade for the two-handed slam. The Chicago Bulls finish the game, winning 98-95. That's all for your top 5 Bulls plays this week. I'm Patricia Martinez. Over to you, Jasmine.
Thanks, Patricia. Loyola's cross-country teams wrapped up their 2016 season last Friday at the NCAA Midwest Regional in Iowa City, Iowa, where they made impressive performances. Improving 3 places from last year's edition of the event, the men's team claimed 17th place with the team score of 453. They came ahead MVC rival Drake and city rivals UIC in the final team standings. Senior Jake Brown ran an impressive time of 31 minutes and 24 seconds, finishing in 54th place overall in the 10K race, while redshirt Alex Baker came close behind, earning 55th. As for the women's team, they took home 22nd place, racking up a total of 579 points. The Lady Ramblers outperformed league opponents Drake and Missouri State, and like the men, they came ahead of both UIC and DePaul. For the sixth consecutive time, junior Emma Hatch led the way for Loyola's 5 scoring runners in the 6K race. She finished the race in 21 minutes and 39.7 seconds, claiming 74th place overall.
The women's volleyball team has just 1 match left after matches against Northern Iowa and Drake on back-to-back days over the weekend. The Ramblers traveled to Cedar Falls, Iowa to face off against hard-hitting MVC rival Northern Iowa. The Panthers would prove too much for the injury-riddled Ramblers, racing past Loyola in straight sets. The Ramblers lose to the Panthers with a score of 3-0. The Ramblers would rebound quickly from the match against UNI with a 3-1 win against Drake on November 12th. After dropping the first set 19-25, the Ramblers would storm back to win the last 3. The team was led by sophomore Gabby Majikowski's career-high 24 kills, and senior Sammy Hansen added 11 more. The win pushed the Ramblers to 8-9 on the season in the MVC and clinched the team spot in the MVC tournament. The Ramblers will close out their 2016 season when they travel to Peoria to take on Bradley University on Saturday, November 19th.
One sports club on campus is looking to knock out the competition.
RSL reporter Kathy Novak has the story on Ramblers in the Ring.
I got a chance to chat with the boxing club president and team captain to get an inside scoop on what the boxing club is all about.
So the boxing club started, I want to say, I was a sophomore. That was 3 years ago, and it's been running ever since. We started off with a gym out in Evanston. It's where the Northwestern Boxing Club actually used to train, and it was just about 5 or 6 of us that were going there, trying to get the club started, and we were kind of just thrown in there with a Northwestern team. And ever since then, one of the coaches that used to work at that gym kind of took us over and decided to take the lead and be our head coach for the club.
Captain Mario Federico tells me how difficult the week before a match really is due to the amount of weight loss or weight gain that might be required.
I had to drop about 11 pounds within like a week and a half, and other fighters had to drop or go up several pounds too. So that's probably one of the toughest, requirements to meet before actually getting in the ring.
Many people associate boxing as being a violent sport, so I asked Mario how he's able to separate that from his personal life.
Once I'm in the ring, just how our coach says it to us, is you go in there, you do a job, and the job is done, right? It really has nothing to do with me trying to hurt the other person, other than just me trying to score points. Unfortunately, yes, the other person does get hurt, and I do have to act violently, but it's kind of like when you're performing, you're on stage, right? You're in a character, and the second you're off the stage, you're no longer that character.
President Patrick Miramontes encourages everyone interested to join the team even if you aren't inclined to fight.
I would say that most of our members are that way. You don't need to get hit. You don't need to fight at all. It's still a great workout, and our coach is very accommodating for that. Most of our members are that way, so you're not going to feel like left out or anything like that.
The boxing club is looking forward to competing for the first time ever at a collegiate level in the National Boxing Tournament in the spring. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Kathy Novak.
Thanks, Kathy. Loyola Ramblers is one of 2 NCAA Division I institutions to score the highest graduation success rate, posting a 99% success rate. Loyola is currently tied for highest in the country against Harvard University. Loyola is also in first in the Missouri Valley Conference in the Association of Jesuit Colleges and Universities. Specifically, the men's volleyball has a perfect score of 100, having high scores in the classroom while winning back-to-back championships back in 2014 and 2015.
The baseball season may be over, but we're still talking about some of the key players of the season.
Over to Dylan Conover and his Ramble Analysts to discuss the 2016 Cy Young Award winners.
Hi, welcome to this week's Ramble. I'm Dylan Conover. I'm joined today by Nader Issa and Mike Nish. And guys, we are arguing over whether or not the Cy Young voters, or the Cy Young winners, deserved their award this year. Mike, we'll start with you.
I mean, they both got the most votes for themselves. Yes, they, of course, deserve to win. Voting is tricky business. We all know how that works. We've seen it, the last week or so. And for some reason, nobody wants to accept results recently.
Nader, what do you think?
I really, no, I don't think that
Mike, let's let Nader establish his position, please.
Well, first, I just want to bring up that he just compared Cy Young voting to the U.S. presidential election. I don't feel like that's necessarily a fair comparison.
Just a fair comparison.
But I don't think either Cy Young winner deserved it this year. Max Scherzer was not the NL leader in ERA. The top 2 were both Cubs pitchers, John Lester and Kyle Hendricks. And they were both on a world championship team. They both led the Cubs to a World Series.
Max Scherzer, while he may not have had the lowest ERA, he did have the most wins in the NL, did have the most strikeouts and innings pitched, and the Nationals did go to the playoffs. So, I mean, at what point does a whole team's success reflect just on 2 pitchers? And really only one can win.
Well, while that's true, ERA is the stat that's looked at the most in baseball, and baseball is a numbers game.
That's a good point, but at the same time,
Max
this is
Scherzer
not a numbers award.
This
is not a numbers award. This is a personality award and a Cy Young award for an individual.
Max Scherzer was 8th in the NL in ERA. In all of the majors, he was 8th. That's not a Cy Young worthy season. Both Kyle Hendricks and John Lester, in leading their teams to the World Series, had better seasons. Kyle Hendricks.
Mike, you said it's a number. You said it's a numbers game, but
it's not about the teams.
Rick Porcello led in almost nothing. The only thing Rick Porcello led the AL in was wins and WAR. Verlander led in everything else.
He's new, but he's got the spirit for it. He's got the wins to back it up, and I think that's what we're looking at here: wins. It wasn't really about the small numbers here. At the end of the day, it goes to the person who gets the most votes, and the votes for first, the votes for second. We know how that works in the National League. So I don't think that there's any argument.
So you're saying that wins then are what we should be looking at?
To question the validity of the entire thing is ridiculous.
Well, Porcello had the highest run support of any pitcher in the major leagues.
Every year. We get great pitchers every year. And I'll argue against both of you. That's fine. I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, we get great pitchers each year who defend themselves year over year.
Nader, who do you think should have won the NL?
Just a quick note. I know you said that the votes decided that Porcello was the winner. But that's what we're arguing, is that the votes should not have decided that that's who the winner.
I mean, I don't know.
He had an ERA.
Who else should have changed their vote?
He had an ERA over 3. The last time a pitcher won a Cy Young with an ERA over 3 was 2006. That's 10 years ago.
And things happen. Crazy things have happened in the recent elections. So I'll just reestablish my first point, which is that at the end of the day, the people who are casting the votes really make the difference.
Nader, what's your final statement?
I don't even think this is an argument. This is very clear. Either one of the Cubs pitchers would have been a much better option than Max Scherzer. In the AL, I thought it was as clear as it gets with Verlander. He got every single first place vote except 2. You can't argue that.
I think, yeah, like you said, we could go on all day, and you could argue against both of us, but I think the numbers speak for itself, especially when an award is dictated by individual performances, which are measured by numbers. I would have to go with Nader. I don't think they got it right, but that's all we have for this week's Ramble. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Dylan, but I still think Corey Kluber should have won in the AL.
For our full episodes and the chance to check in on the conversation, and follow and like our social media handles for an up-to-date look at all things Rambler Sports.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Henry Redmond.
And I'm Jasmine Marcos. Check back here next week for another episode of the Rambler Sports Locker.
And as always, don't forget to turn out the lights.